Hey, it's Elijah Winfield,
And I'm Mark Morbitzer.
and this is the More Than My Story podcast. It's been a while since we've been back here. We've got a set change. We've got a co-host change. Zach is still with us, but he has had a shift change, so he doesn't get to make it here the times that we record. So we had a little switch.
So you got me.
Yeah, we got Mark now. Zach will be back for a podcast in a later episode, so keep watching. You're going to see his story come up soon. Today we have, you want to introduce yourself?
My name's EJ Erwin.
Okay, we got EJ. So the first question I want to ask is, for someone who hasn't met you, where would your story start?
I think that today my story starts with how God is working in my life and what he did to turn my life around.
I like that. What would you explain how you came up to someone who never met you? Like, how would you describe your life? Where would you start at?
I was an absolute mess until I found Christ. I was disobedient. I didn't know myself. I knew nothing about life, period.
What parts of your active addiction are still around today? Like, what parts of your life, your personality?
I would have to say my my thought patterns. Some of them are still around, but I have coping skills and I have stuff that I can combat them with today.
Sure.
What thought patterns would you like identify as being from addiction that's still alive today?
I'd have to say like the negative thinking that I have, or just like the automatic thoughts that pop into my head that I know is wrong.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
First
impulsive,
thought wrong.
Impulsive,
Yeah.
just
The impulsive thinking that I have that I know is wrong, but I like I said, I have the coping skills today to where I could flip them.
Mm-hmm. So I want to go back. I want to hear about a little bit about active addiction and see what that was like for EJ. I think we all kind of want to hear that, because I know you now. I know the kind of person you are now, but I think if we can see a little bit more into who EJ is, and that's what More Than My Story is about, is kind of seeing into the kind of things that shaped you into who you are today, and the recovering EJ versus the addict EJ. Mm-hmm. I think seeing those parallels really makes a difference with understanding somebody. So that's kind of what the question before is, where does it start? Like, where in your life do you see those addict tendencies start, and what kind of things drove you into addiction? And you could start with, I was 8 years old. I was, wherever you want to start, because I want to hear about active addiction for EJ.
So I can.
And what led you up to treatment and recovery?
So I can take it back to an identity issue that I had.
Yeah.
What I thought a man was supposed to be, and I can take that back as early as me being 3 years old. When I ultimately saw my grandpa put his foot on my grandmother's chest and hold her down and put a chainsaw to her neck. That my trauma and stuff stems back to then. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just something like that built
up
up, not just built up, but built over time.
That became the foundation.
That became the foundation of my identity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't know any other life outside of those things.
Yeah.
So it was like one thing happened after another, and it just, my life became unmanageable, and that's when I turned to using. That's when I turned to substances. You know?
What age? When did that start? What was the age that started?
That
Substance use.
my substance use started around 8 to 12, I think. Yeah,
What first?
alcohol.
Always is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the introduction to alcohol? How did that happen? Kind of explain that.
I mean, it just kind of got.
Like, how does an 8-year-old get his hands on
Right.
alcohol? Who gives it to you? Who?
My grandparents.
Did you pursue it?
No, I mean, it was one of them situations to where, oh, you want to try this? Go ahead and take you a drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it was it more than just taking a drink?
I mean, at first, no, it wasn't,
Oh.
but it led into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
You
that
know what I
opened
mean?
up the curiosity.
Yeah, that gave me the taste for it.
Yeah.
Right.
That gave me that feeling. That gave me the urge to cover up something.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
And at that age, for me, it's like I don't feel like I need anything to cover up anything at that age. It's like, what kind of trauma did you go through at 3 to 5 years old? Like you don't really remember, but you do some therapy work and you start to figure out that, like, wow, I really went through some deep, heavy traumas.
Yeah.
And that's why we lean on substances and just really risky behavior in general.
Yeah. So 8, alcohol starts. And how did use progress after that? Did you did you get into it? Was it like a sneaky thing here and there, or?
Yeah, it was definitely a sneaky thing. Because once again, I'm gonna take it back to the identity issue that I have, or that I had. Because at that point in my life, it was like I had to step into a role of a caretaker, taking care of my younger siblings.
Mm.
So it was like I had to grow up way too quick for somebody so young. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So what was the next drug you got into, and when did that start?
Marijuana, about 12 years old.
How did that happen?
My mom asked if I wanted to smoke with her.
Wow.
I have a similar story to that. Yeah.
And so take us through that. How did it, at 12 years old, what was your thoughts about that? Because I know probably at that age you're like, oh, mom's letting me do it. It's like,
It was a cool thing to do. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I was accepted finally
yeah.
by my mom. I was not just accepted, but I felt loved, actually.
Yeah.
And that was the wrong perception of what love is to
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, but at that point, that's all you knew.
yeah, exactly.
So it became a regular thing to smoke with her?
Yeah.
That was your guys' bonding. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how you guys bonded.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can relate, man. Later, I was probably 14 or 15, but still the same thing.
Yeah. How did that progress, using marijuana?
Elaborate what you mean. How did that
Like,
progress? Like, did it?
Did it become
Did it become into something else, or
yeah,
did
like
it
you,
become into
you
a
start
habit?
smoking with your mom? Do you start smoking outside of smoking with your mom? Does it become like, is it daily? Is it weekly? Is it?
Yeah, I definitely started smoking without my mom. which ended up leading me into searching it out for myself.
Right.
Which, you know, it definitely turned into a daily thing for me there for a while. And then it was like other things come in.
So, what age is other things?
I'd have to say whenever I was 14 and got my gallbladder taken out is when I was introduced to pain pills. So
I was going to ask if there was another incident, a traumatic incident that pushed you towards harder drugs.
yeah,
Teenage years.
yeah.
You take us through that?
Okay, so whenever the harder drugs actually come into play with me was whenever I was cliff diving at Grayson Lake, and the person I went cliff diving with ended up drowning. And the last words that I heard out of his mouth was, "Help, EJ."
Mm.
So, you know, it really made me spiral then.
Absolutely.
So what was going on in school during this time?
School was a mess. I mean, it was, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I attended school physically, but mentally I wasn't there.
Were you getting intoxicated before school?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
So grades was just not a thing. Like, was you passing? You was getting to the next grade? Like,
I mean, yeah,
Did you
I was
graduate?
passing, but it wasn't my work that was passing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same.
you know what I mean? Like,
I feel it.
there was other people doing my work for me that I
Mhm.
was turning in that was getting me the grades that passed.
So did you graduate?
No, I did not. And the reason why I didn't graduate is because of moving schools from state to state.
Man, that's got to be so hard on a kid.
I moved so at the age of 8, I moved to Ohio and lived in Pike County. And then my freshman year in high school, we moved back to Kentucky. And the difference in the credits that I needed to graduate were different from state to state.
Yeah.
And whenever my senior year rolled around, we moved back. I had enough credits to graduate in Kentucky, but then whenever we moved back to Ohio, I was short
Yeah.
1.5 credits, so they wouldn't let me walk across the stage.
Dang, that's
So
crazy.
you had to get your GED based off of one credit short?
1.5 credits, yeah.
Man.
When did you end up getting your GED?
In 2015.
So you
So-
were in active use when you got your GED?
I was actually locked up.
Oh, okay.
When I was, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
I want to go
from active use.
Yeah. Wait, let's discuss that for a minute. All right. What got you locked up?
No, because I want to hear, when you, because where's this period of time of you move back from Kentucky and you don't have the credits to graduate. What do you do after that?
Sure.
And then we can get it, because
Yeah.
I think that's going to lead into when you get locked up.
You're right.
And
Okay, so that's going to go back to whenever I was 6 then.
okay.
Because when I was 6, my mom was driving down the highway and my dad was beating on her while she was driving, and a semi hit us twice. Ultimately, I got through 30 yards out of the car, and we sued the truck company, and I got a $500,000 settlement out of it. So
You did?
whenever, yeah. It took 12, almost 13 years to settle in court,
Right.
but I got a $500,000 settlement out of it because I was hospitalized for 2.5 months.
Okay.
Like, I had a traumatic brain injury, and I had to learn how to do everything all over again at 6 years old.
Right. Right.
So, with that being said, whenever I moved back to Kentucky, or moved back from Kentucky to Ohio, and wasn't able to graduate, when I turned 18, I got access to that money.
Wow.
Okay.
But like I said there, it took 12, almost 13 years to settle. So that was that long in court costs and lawyer fees that I had to pay. So
Sure.
I got a little over half of $500,000 back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, but my lawyer did suggest that I set it up in an annuity fund, which I did, and I was allowed to get 10% of it out a year. When I turned 18, I got that first 10% out and ended up buying my own mobile home and paying for lot rent and stuff for it.
Yeah.
Which by that time, my first son was already born.
Mm.
So I needed to do something to get my feet
Right.
Yeah.
on ground, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's,
You moved into the mobile home.
yeah.
Your first son was born.
Mm-hmm.
Was you together with mom?
Yes.
So you guys move in. How does those early years of being a young parent, you know, with access to a decent amount of money,
Yeah.
you know, how does that progress? How does that turn into active addiction? Or are you in the middle of active addiction during this?
I was definitely on pain pills and still drinking and smoking, yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, how long did that end up lasting?
Me using those substances?
No, just
or
that situation.
About 18 months.
And why was it only 18 months? How did
Because of the
that-
identity that I was carrying around
Mm.
of what a man was.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I thought a man was supposed to take on the responsibility of bringing in the money, and you know, the woman was supposed to take care of the house and the kid or whatever. And you know, I thought that I could go out and cheat and there'd be no consequences
Right.
or whatever. You know what I mean? So it ended up ending that relationship because of those factors.
Because of the infidelity on
Yeah.
your part?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, it's
So-
so hard. You're still young. You were still young at that point.
Yeah.
And I know you, so I know you beat yourself up a lot over that
Mhm.
that situation.
For sure.
So after that ended, where did you go to? Where did you stay there? Did she move out? Did you?
No, yeah, she ended up moving back to Kentucky with her family, with Bradley, my oldest son.
Mm.
I ended up staying there and ended up getting together with the girl that I cheated on her with.
You know, as you do.
Yeah, I mean,
How did that affect you? You know, like your son moving away that far. Did you still get visits? Did you get to, you know? have
yeah,
that
I mean,
relationship?
yeah, I still took care of him, and I still got to see him every chance that I could. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
ultimately, at that time, I was working and on top of spiraling out of control, basically, because that's what it did to me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With
I mean,
that whole situation ending and
Yeah, yeah,
and moving away.
yep.
Yep.
So you started spiraling out of control. So we're probably on the road to like rock bottom at this point.
You would
one
think.
of the 20 rock bottoms.
Right.
You know
So-
what I mean?
okay.
Like, yeah, it was part of the spiral. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you know, tell me where that led you to next.
Ultimately, that led me to getting hooked to cocaine and drinking very heavily. I ended up losing my job, but luckily I had that money in that annuity account, so I wasn't worried about working.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't worried about taking care of myself basically
Yeah.
because
Which you're getting a lump sum at the beginning of the year, or how's that work?
no, I could get 10% of it out every 12 months.
Okay.
So there wasn't no set time. It wasn't like at the beginning of the year.
It was just once that 12 months hit.
Yeah.
What did 12% look like?
Okay.
Or 10?
So
Was it 10%?
10.
It was
10%.
Okay,
Yeah.
every 12 months.
The first time that I was able to get the 10% out, it was a little over 26,000.
To last you a year.
Yeah.
So it as you take 26,000, the 10% goes down.
So
what
the
is it,
way
26,000 every
the way that I had it set up, it was in that annuity fund. So if I would have only taken the 10% out a year, that money that was still in it would have gained the interest to where I would have been a millionaire by the time I turned 50.
Right.
So every year it was gaining interest on it. So it would be lower, yes, but it wouldn't be like a
It was
real
building.
big lower amount, you know what I mean? Because it was still building interest as it was sitting.
It's passive income.
Yeah.
If you let it sit there.
Yeah.
And that was with you taking the 10% too.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's a significant amount of money a year.
And for, given that situation and that time,
Right.
18 years old, 19 years old, and, losing your family pretty much, already in the middle of drug use, being able to have that crutch to just not give a F about
Right.
what you do. Like, I don't care. Like,
Because
it doesn't
you
matter.
could be, 3 months from that deposit.
Right, and you're just like, well,
You're
we'll
like,
just
we can
let
rough
the
it for
bills
3
build
months.
up, and
Mhm.
I'll pay it back off.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that what's
And
what
I've
was
definitely
happening?
done that multiple times.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? I've definitely done that multiple times. But like I said, whenever I started using cocaine, it was like that money quickly
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it quickly disappeared.
Like the 10% that you got.
Mhm.
It was
So it was like I was running out of money 6 months early.
right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I was going through all that money in 6 months. If I was lucky at having it for 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like
You know what I mean? So,
the
yeah.
high end.
Yeah. You're messing with designer drugs at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving myself a lot of grace with saying 6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
So, cocaine use starts, and the spiral continues to speed up. What is the next step after that? The next step down. The next
The next step closer to
crack
rock
in the
bottom.
road.
The pill mills.
Oh man.
Running back and forth to Florida.
Yeah.
So you started selling drugs.
Yeah. Definitely did. I started
Selling them to use them.
Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
started paying for multiple people to go to Florida. And in me doing that, I was getting 2/3 of the prescriptions.
Mm-hmm.
And I was selling some and doing,
Most.
yeah. Yep. If I'm being honest, that's exactly how it went. You know what I mean?
So, is this how you ended up in prison?
Luckily, I've never been to prison.
Oh, it was jail.
I've done,
You said.
I've done so much county jail time.
Okay.
But luckily, by the grace of God, I have never been to prison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I actually didn't know that, dude.
I didn't
No, I've
either.
never been to prison.
Okay. So the pill mill stuff. How's where's that lead you to?
Ultimately, that led me to breaking the annuity. I ended up not only getting the 10% out, but it led to me getting up to like 25% of the annuity out, and which was a mistake because I ended up having to pay
A penalty for it.
Yeah, I ended up having to pay almost the amount that I was drawing out in penalties for drawing it out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it was like, that's what started that whole situation with me, and it ended up being like, where they started shutting down the doctors in Florida. Then I
Yeah.
was going to Georgia and getting them,
Mm-hmm.
and it just, once all that stopped, I turned to heroin.
Yeah.
What age was this?
I was 23, I do believe, when I turned to heroin.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So,
And it was because of the pill mills were getting shut down.
Yeah. It was because of the pill mills were getting shut down and all the prices on it skyrocketed.
Yeah.
So,
It's,
Instead of-
$1.50 a milligram.
yeah, instead of paying that price for them, why not
Graduate.
graduate and go to half-price drugs
Mhm.
and get double of what you would get off of one pill? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So that starts your descent.
Yep.
So, how does heroin start? What was your life like after heroin started?
Oh man.
Probably great, man.
I mean, if I'm being honest, yeah, it was for a minute.
For a minute, because you
know
weren't
what I mean? Like, it really was for a minute because
you weren't broke.
I wasn't, not at all. And it was so easy to be able to get that and make money on it, and
Right.
and on top of making money, also have it to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was so easy to do that. And then it was like the lady,
Show some anonymity.
well, no, I was going to say the girl, but I'm going to say the lady that I cheated on my first son's mom with. It was who I was with through most of this.
Okay.
And come to find out, like, her stepdad and her mom were the first anhydrous cook meth bust in Pike County.
Okay.
So that didn't help the situation out at all.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I had the connection to everything then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On top of having money.
Yeah. So is that when you switched from the opiates to the methamphetamine? Or were you just messing with both at that point?
I was definitely messing with them both.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Selling both?
Yep. And on top of selling both, I started cooking meth too.
Yep.
So, and to be honest with you, I think I got more addicted to cooking it than I did doing it or selling it.
Yeah, man, I've heard that so many times. So many times I've heard people saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the rush of,
Mm-hmm.
A sense of accomplishment too.
making it, selling it. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sense of accomplishing, not blowing myself up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, you start cooking and you're doing meth, heroin. Where does this end up at? Where's first rock bottom after this? Because I'm sure there's probably a couple that were sprinkled in there.
Yeah.
Right. Where's
there
that
definitely
big
was.
like
The big one.
first rock bottom moment that treatment becomes a thing? How many times have you been in treatment?
I have been in 4 different treatments.
Right.
Well, 3, because one of them was considered a CBCF.
So
So I don't know if you'd want to consider that a treatment or not, but because it was
Kinda.
locked, it
You're-
was me being locked
yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's prison. You're in
Yeah,
prison.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So like how do we get to the first treatment situation?
That would have to have been when my daughter was born in 2011,
Okay.
and the
How old were you?
um that was 20, 23, 24.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So it was.
So
it's
this is
about.
around like
it's about.
this
the
is all
same
like
time,
kind of like
yeah.
happening
Yeah.
in the same moment,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
same years.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was. That's why
Like
I looked
heroin
up because I
started-
was trying to figure out.
Heroin started. Daughter comes. Meth cooking, meth use is all being mixed into one.
Yeah.
And then we're getting to treatment.
Yeah.
So daughter was born. What happened?
The state stepped in and took custody of her and my second son because she come out addicted to meth.
Yeah.
So, that definitely took a big toll on me mentally, emotionally,
Absolutely.
everything. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that, to be honest with you, that's when I even first got introduced to what recovery even was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The concept of even being an addict.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Did you also think that rehab was for rich people?
I don't know if I would say that
I
I thought that, but I mean, I guess in a way that was what recovery was perceived
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I would
Like it's
have.
definitely what it was perceived to be then.
Yeah. I'd have went to treatment in my 20s if I knew that you didn't need money to do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
But back then though, I didn't. It wasn't like I was introduced to inpatient or anything like that. I was
Right.
going to outpatient, so
Right.
I didn't even.
Know that something like inpatient existed.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, daughter's born. CPS gets involved. I'm assuming you made the decision yourself, from what you said. You figured out you had a problem. How did getting to your first facility come about?
The first inpatient facility.
Just
Come
the
about,
next step. Like, was it a voluntary thing? Was it?
Did you start outpatient?
Yes, I
Okay.
started outpatient, and that was ultimately court ordered
Right.
from the state for me to be able to get custody of the kids back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I know this was a long time ago, because a court order for that situation would not give somebody outpatient. They'd be like, you're going to inpatient.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. You know what I mean? But they court ordered me to outpatient.
Yeah.
And for me to complete parenting classes and anger management and you
Yeah.
know so on. But
And this is 2011, 12?
yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I mean, I was doing good for a while, and then it turned into, I ended up connecting with the people that I was in outpatient with and finding out what Suboxone was.
Mm-hmm.
And finding out like, oh, I can take that while coming here, bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me get on that train.
Yeah. And then, congratulations, you just played yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the courts definitely wasn't on board with it. You
No.
know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. So, you said 4 times, right? You've been to 4 different
Mm-hmm.
treatments. So, I don't think we need like the full details of
Each stay.
what relapse is like, and I think we kind of understand that for the most part, and at least people that are going to be watching this, we kind of get the kind of motions that happen after starting treatment, and then the cycle of being in and out of treatment.
Yeah.
What was the sticking moment that actually, made it stick?
Oh, good question.
Okay, so the thing that made it stick with me this time around was the fact that, the reason why I got arrested in 21 was for having a warrant out on me because I didn't appear to court for the law finding me overdosed in a stolen vehicle on the side of the road.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I skipped out on court on that,
Yeah.
and they put a warrant out for me. So, I ended up getting arrested, going to jail, and whenever they arrested me, I had been up for multiple days
Right.
on meth while I was homeless, didn't have anybody out there, caring about me or anything, you know what I mean? Or at least that's what I thought anyway.
That's certainly what it feels like.
Yeah, for sure, And whenever they arrested me and I got to jail and slept for almost 4 days straight.
Right.
I got up and it was like I had a spiritual awakening, like, what am I doing,
Mm-hmm.
Like, God has saved your life so many times, and here you are just continually just
Wasting
the opportunity that He's given you.
And just to be clear, you did not know God at this point.
I
On the level that you know Him.
I
right
knew God, but I did not know Him. Yeah, like you said, on the level that I do now, and I didn't have the relationship with Him
Right.
that I have today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which it's constantly evolving. It's constantly growing
Right.
too.
Yeah, for
our
sure.
understanding is definitely constantly growing. So you have this spiritual awakening, and it's basically, what the heck am I doing with life? Where does that take you?
Well, it
Like, was that the moment that it was like, boom, that you started making the steps to stay sober, stay clean?
I started
because a lot of people have this spiritual awakening, but they don't actually
Have the application after.
and I get what you're saying there, but I had to personally apply what I wanted in my steps to get to where I'm at today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I had to, when they took me to court, I had to be the one to have the courage to ask for treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they was gonna charge me with some felony charges.
Mm-hmm.
Like internal possession.
Well, not just that, but the receiving stolen property
Yeah.
of a vehicle. You know what I mean, and all kinds of other things.
Right.
Right.
But they, luckily, like I said, whenever I asked for rehab,
Yeah.
they come back at me with, well, we know you've been in the system. I don't know if that's available to you or not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, I haven't been in trouble in over 2 years. What are you talking about? You
Yeah.
don't know if that's available to me or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they ended up coming back to me like 15 minutes later and was like, all right, get your stuff together. You're going to rehab right now.
Yeah.
All right, bet.
And this is 21?
Yep.
And where do they take you?
To Pike Recovery Council.
Where he met the coolest dude in existence.
Listen, man.
So Pike Recovery Council, tell us about the journey of recovery from here. Where does this spiritual awakening take you?
Down a messy, long road.
Yes.
I ultimately ended up going into psychosis.
Yes,
and
you did.
was in psychosis for, I'd say, a good solid 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like reality settled in with me then. And my mind was playing tricks on me, and I was wanting to run, but I knew that I had to stick and stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I knew that I had to put in the work if I wanted any change.
So you're at Pike Recovery Council for how long?
I was there. I do believe I was there for 123 days.
So, how long did the psychosis last?
For approximately 3 weeks until I was able to get, before I was able to get in to see the doctor and them get me put on medications and stuff to get my sleeping routines down, to get my anxiety and my depression under control. And so it was 3 weeks, if not more. It may have been longer than that.
Right.
It was about a month, but during that month, you consistently looked for avenues to fix it.
Yeah.
You got a sponsor. You were speaking in meetings.
Mm-hmm.
You became a mentor.
Yeah.
Like you did all of these things to combat everything that you were going through.
Yeah,
I
for
watched.
sure.
I watched
for
it.
sure. I mean, I had to set routines for myself. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I had to put in the work to be able to get better.
And
I had to.
I watched you freak out over somebody walking behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was 5 years ago,
Well,
right? And now he's sitting here leading people.
Right. So, okay. We know you very well. So we know this about you. Your faith is a big aspect of recovery, and what has worked for you in recovery. So we don't have a whole lot more time. I want to dive into your faith and where that started, how that grew, what that looks like today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what really grew with me and my faith was whenever I come to reach from the Recovery Council and ended up thinking that I knew what was best for me and tried to take my will back over, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up going and getting some air duster from Walmart.
Allegedly.
Yeah. No, I did it. I did that. I'll own that.
Allegedly, I was involved in that.
But it was like I did that, and I ended up blacking out and getting called out on it.
So scary.
And,
That was very scary.
and I ended up lying about it, and then it was like, I got shown grace, so I had to tell on myself. I had to be truthful with myself. Not just with myself, but with everybody around me. Like, I had to come to terms to accept that my life was unmanageable.
Right.
Yeah.
So what did you do with that grace?
I took that grace and I used it as motivation to continue to climb up the mountain.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't take that grace and take it for granted. I
Right.
didn't, I used it as motivation to continue to move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So how did God use other people or circumstances to bring you closer to him?
How did God use other people or circumstances to bring me closer to him?
And I'm not saying
He used other people to plant seeds or drop them golden nuggets for me
Yeah.
to pick up
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and apply to my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? He used, and today he's still doing that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's still doing that.
Yeah.
It's like anybody can say something or do something that blows my mind today still, and I will learn from it. You know
Right.
what I mean?
It doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah,
either.
it doesn't matter at all who they are.
If you were to give somebody a golden nugget right now, and they were dealing with addiction or even anxiety or outside the scope of addiction, someone dealing with mental health problems, anything, if you were trying to give someone that golden nugget to help them push through, what would be that golden nugget that you're giving out to them?
And it can't be a Jack Waters statement.
Yeah.
No,
It
no.
can be, because
No,
if
it would have to be learn how to trust God even when you can't trace God.
Oh man, that's so good.
It
That's
would
so
have
good.
to be that.
That is
Oh
so
my
good.
gosh.
And with me saying that, like, you have to learn how to not, and trust in that statement is such a wide
Yeah.
statement. Like, there's so much to that word.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just go off of
It's
what the definition of trust is. Like,
Right.
you have to really dig into it and analyze what that would look like for you yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're here, God.
It can't be
Yeah.
I trust if.
Right.
I trust if.
I trust
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, that's golden. That's a golden nugget.
That
right
is,
there.
it really is.
That's a golden nugget. I can trust God even if you can't trace God.
Yes.
I like that. Well, we got about 10 more minutes. Is there anything else you want to ask EJ?
What did you think of me when you first met me? Do not answer that. Legitimately,
I was
don't
gonna
answer
say,
that.
No, you
want-
can
I was
answer
gonna
it. You
say-
can answer
I was
it
gonna
for
say,
sure.
you want me to tell you the truth or
No.
you want me to tell you a lie?
No, I don't need to hear it because I know who I was 5 years ago.
Yeah, but do you see my perception of it?
I do because
Like,
I've
do you
listened to
really
enough
though?
people.
Because it's like I don't know if you really saw what I saw in you. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you really see what everybody else sees in you.
All right, this is your interview.
Well, I'm just saying. You know
All right,
what
you
I
guys switch seats. Switch
Yeah.
seats. Go ahead. Switch seats.
mean? You know what I mean? But I don't know, man.
No, that's a real brother right there for sure.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I can say about EJ. We don't get the chance to do this with a lot of guests, but we've known EJ for 5 years
Yeah.
now, throughout his whole recovery journey, and it's crazy to even see the kind of person you are today.
Right.
You know, it's a weird analogy or a weird metaphor, but it's like watching, my newborn turn into a 5-year-old.
It is.
She's formulating full sentences and asking me for Roblox.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it is crazy. It's watching someone like really grow from a dark place, because it's not like I'm older than you guys and I'm watching you guys
Yeah.
grow up. No,
Yeah.
I'm watching you grow from a dark place.
Right.
And you are like one of the biggest success stories we have at
Yeah.
Reach for Tomorrow. And it's just an honor to work with you. It's an honor to have you on here and to kind of, it shed some light on your story and show people, like the kind of things that you've been through.
Right.
And I want to shed some light on, how much you are doing right now. That is like amazing to see. It's crazy to see.
It is crazy to see. And now I look up to you and your relationship with God, and I'm asking you questions about God and how to strengthen that relationship. And we started this journey together, the same exact day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I'm very young in this field, so it's always nice when like I'm dealing with someone older than me, and they grow up to be a mentor to
Right,
me.
right.
You know what I mean? Not that I had like a lot of like, work into what your journey was, but I was there along and doing a lot of things here. But you've definitely grown into someone that I look up to too. And I think a lot of people here can say that we all here look up to what you do.
I can say with
and
confidence that
the kind of strength you have internally and your relationship with God, for sure. It's the biggest thing about you that we can see is that you are chasing that, and you mean it when you say it. You're not letting go of that.
Right.
You're
you have not stopped seeking.
yeah.
No, never.
Yeah.
Never will I ever, man. I won't. You
And
know
that's
what I mean?
admirable.
Like, I
That's
won't.
why we look up to you.
Like, no matter what happens, it's going to be him first.
Right.
I'm always going to turn it straight to him, because I have evidence in my life today of as long as I stay obedient to him and as long as I seek him, everything will work out. No
Amen,
matter
brother.
what, you know what I mean? No matter
Amen.
what. And I just want to say it is an honor and a blessing to me to be able to be on this.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so we will end off our podcast with a prayer. So I'll go ahead and lead us. Lord, we just want to thank you for this time. We just come in thanks for EJ and for Mark. This is his first podcast, so if there was an applause, we'd play an applause right now. That's an inside joke. You know it, Lord. We just want to say thank you, God. We really are coming to you in thanks, and we really thank you for the kind of man that EJ is today, because not only is he impacting us, he is impacting this community, and he is impacting these people that are going out to other communities, and they are getting golden nuggets from this man, and they are taking the heart of the Lord, and they can feel the Holy Spirit on him, and we can feel it on him too. And we want to thank you for the work that you have done in his life and in his soul, and the impact that it is having on the people around him. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen.